with meteorologist Brianna Medina.
Happy Sunday, everyone. We saw another beautiful day here in the Arklamas, and we saw no rain today. And we did see our temperatures a little bit warmer than the past couple of days. And this is going to continue for tomorrow as well. Tomorrow, we're not going to be seeing any rain chances, and our temperatures are going to be once again in the upper 80s. That was your forecast first, and you're watching NBC 10 News at 10.
Live from the NBC 10 Broadcast Center, this is your weather station. Voted Best of the Delta and Best Newscast and Weather by the Louisiana Association of Broadcasters. This is NBC 10 News, live at 10.
Coming up, a benefit for St. Jude Children's Hospital held in Ruston today. And 4 Pennsylvania teens are being charged with plotting a school attack. Plus, a woman is in custody after 2 children were thrown off a Louisiana bridge, killing one. Hello and thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Jeremy Harrell. A woman is in custody and police are looking for witnesses after 2 children were thrown off of a bridge in Shreveport, Louisiana, into a lake. And one of them did not survive. NBC's Darren Todd has the latest.
It started after someone reported seeing a child's body floating in the waters of Cross Lake just before 11 a.m.
Our Marine Patrol unit responded to that location. They were able to remove a child from the water there. The child, unfortunately, was deceased.
A short time later, they pulled another small child from the water who was taken to Oshner Health in very serious condition. At last check, police say the child was still alive. Police searched for a third child who was later found safe. Police were able to come up with a description and put out an alert to local agencies. Her gray Dodge Caravan with Texas tags was spotted in Wascom, where she was taken into custody this afternoon.
It's a female in her 30s. She was taken into custody without incident, and she has been transported to the Shreveport Police Complex for questioning by investigators.
Police have not released the children's ages or sex, and so far, they have not confirmed the woman's relationship to the children.
Investigators do not believe this is a random act of violence.
I don't have the words. I don't have the words because I think pretty much all of us were full of emotion. What was more overwhelming was knowing that it was a baby that lost his life on today. And so I think about the ongoing trauma that that child's brother is going to feel.
You know, we ask for the community's prayers and just understanding right now. We will get more information out as we can. This is a tragedy, a true tragedy.
Councilwoman Tabitha Taylor says it highlights the need for more of a conversation about mental health.
Oftentimes when it happens in your backyard, it hits differently. And so I will just ask that, again, mental health has to be a focus, and letting individuals know that there is another way out. It can no longer be a closed conversation.
Darren Todd, NBC 6 News.
Well, Monroe police respond to a shooting that happened at 3608 Jackson Street, where a 17-year-old victim was shot at least twice. A 15-year-old male suspect was taken into custody and charged with second-degree murder. Now, the victim was taken to Oshner LSU Monroe, where he died from his wounds. And a Monroe man was arrested for possessing 22 Xanax tablets and other drug offenses. On Friday, the Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Office observed a green Mercury Grand Marquis failing to use a turn signal. Once deputies stopped the vehicle, they observed 29-year-old Aaron Jamal Scobie exiting the car quickly. Now, after deputies smelled a strong marijuana odor on Scobie, they gained consent to search him. After deputies searched the vehicle, they discovered approximately 35 grams of marijuana underneath the front driver's seat. Now, Scobie was charged with 2 counts of possession of a controlled dangerous substance. He was booked into the Ouachita Correctional Center. Monroe police respond to a pedestrian that was struck by a car. The incident happened September the 23rd, shortly before 9:30 p.m. in the 1100 block of Louisville Avenue. 42-year-old Calvin Guy was struck by a 2013 Toyota 4Runner when he entered the right travel lane. Now, Guy was transported to St. Francis Medical Center, where he died from his injuries. 4 Pennsylvania teens are being charged with plotting a school attack. According to court papers, they were planning on carrying out an attack on Dunmore High School on the 25th anniversary of the Columbine High School attack. A mother of one of the teens discovered a group of text messages and alerted police. Now, the text spoke about, quote, shooting up the school. Another student calling, quote, dibs on a particular student. The student saying they wanted, quote, everything to go down like that, referring to the Columbine mass shooting back in 1999. Now, according to investigators, authorities noted the intent date of the attack was going to be April 20th, 2024, the 25th anniversary of the Columbine High School attack. Now, police searched the home of one of the teens where they found explosive making materials and other evidence. 2 of the teens are being charged as adults, the other 2 as juveniles. Well, a fundraiser hosted by Game Day Productions, Hits for Hope St. Jude benefit. It was held in Ruston earlier today. NBC 10's Valerie Moravi was there, and she has the details.
The kickoff to start construction on this new dream home is set right here on Frenchman's Bend in Monroe. Brian Allen has been working with Bronco Construction for about 12 years and has donated time and materials to build this dream home giveaway house. He says besides the challenges he's faced to start the construction, he says he feels proud to be part of this home giveaway for a great cause.
It gets pretty challenging at the end, and we're like, not going to do this again. But when we give it away, and it's not so much to see that person that gets the free home, but when we get to see the patients and we realize what the dividends have done for St. Jude.
Allen says getting materials during this time and date was challenging due to the change of economy and the pandemic. He says subcontractors had trouble finding help and labor, but he says he remained hopeful besides the financial burdens.
Still worth it to us. We're excited. We've got a lot of vendors and subcontractors that's been with us since we started this 11 years ago. So it's a wonderful event to be a part of, and we're excited. We'll do it again next year.
Janie Strickland with Strickland Interior says this is her 5th St. Jude dream home, and she says she's excited to share some of this house's unique features.
Large kitchen, large master bathrooms, large master bedroom suite.
Strickland says this project is very close to her since she lost a childhood friend who was battling with cancer.
It's near and dear to my heart. Anything that I can do to help raise funds for St. Jude, I will do. Buying a ticket for the home is amazing, but what that money goes towards is what matters.
Well, and the captains of the Twin Cities crew of Janus celebrated their 39th annual cocktail party. They announced their new king and queen, Janus for Mardi Gras and their royal court for this year. All members, several sponsors, and past king and queens were also invited to celebrate and enjoy some food, music, and dancing.
I love being able to be part of the captains and be able to be up here and announce the king and queen. Since I am a past queen, it just kind of makes it fun.
And the king was Leo Nelson and the queen was Jane Nelson. Congratulations to you both. Well, a national car seat check day was practiced all over the nation over the weekend. The NELA Highway Safety Commission hosted local agencies to help and urge anyone who transports a child in a vehicle to take advantage of the National Car Seat Check Day. 6 highly trained and certified technicians were on site to help parents to go over safety and fitting measurements to help reduce serious injuries.
Louisiana law is that children that are under the age of 2 should be rear-facing as long as possible in a 5-point harness. And then even if they are a little older than 2 and they're still small enough, according to that car seat and your car manufacturer, they should still be rear-facing. I know you want to maybe have them forward-facing because you want to see them or things like that. You had carried that baby for 9 months, so you want to make sure that that baby's going to be safe for as long as it's here.
Well, coming up on NBC 10 News at 10, police are investigating the fatal fall of a mother and her son at a San Diego ballpark. You're watching NBC 10 News at 10.
News sponsored by Mulhern Funeral Homes, when you need us most.
Hi, I'm Roy Heatherly with the Monroe Chamber. I love living here. I'm proud of my community. That's why I moved back. It's home. It's part of me, and I'm proud to be here. I know you are too, but we need your help to grow our community and continue to better the lives of our families. Your chamber has been and will be in the center of positive change for our community. Join us. Join the Chamber today.
It's amazing to think that Parker Auto Body is celebrating 35 years of business. We've been honored to serve our growing community, helping us to become the largest and most efficient shop in the area. Our long-term, well-trained staff, as well as our state-of-the-art facility, Cypress Street in West Monroe, are why we continually receive consumer awards and certifications from over 15 major manufacturers. We are so incredibly thankful to this community and are honored to be to return your vehicle to pre-accident condition with a safe, quality repair.
I'm Attorney General Leslie Rutledge with a public service announcement about the COVID vaccine. Like you, I'm tired of the mask. Kids not in school, people not at work. But I'm sick of going to funerals. No one should be forced to get the shot. It's about personal responsibility. I got the shot this spring.
I got the shot.
I got the shot.
I got the shot.
Know the facts about the vax.
Get off Google and talk to your doctor.
Over 90% of Arkansans who have died from COVID did not get the shot. Know the facts about the vaccine.
Hey everybody, let's have some fun. The time is right, the party's just begun. Have a good time front.
On game day, Tiger fans know how to bring it. With second row sliding seats, seating for 7, plus plenty of cargo space, you can take it all with you. Ford SUVs, let the good times roll. Get 1.9 for 60 plus 2,000 trade assist and 1,000 bonus cash for a retail order on Expedition. Only at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
NBC 10 News at 10 continues.
Well, welcome back. Police are investigating the fatal fall of a mother and her son at a San Diego ballpark yesterday. The woman and her 2-year-old son fell from the 3rd level of Petco Park just before the start of the San Diego and Atlanta Braves game. Authorities say the concourse the pair fell from was the equivalent of 6 stories high. The 40-year-old woman and the boy were pronounced dead shortly after police arrived. Now, authorities say it is not clear whether the fall was accidental or intentional. Police say it appeared to be suspicious and an investigation is underway. Well, firefighters have been making some progress on a forest fire in Northern California. The fire threatened at least 9,000 buildings, but that number dropped to just over 2,300 today. According to officials, the fire is now about 35% contained. Thousands of people have been displaced and at least 130 homes have been destroyed. Police have arrested a 30-year-old woman on suspicion of starting the blaze. Well, America's opioid crisis didn't start with COVID. An estimated 93,000 people died from overdoses in 2020. This year could be even deadlier because there's a shortage of an overdose reversal drug, naloxone. Pfizer drug programs and harm reduction clinics around the country are getting desperate for the drug. Well, weather is next. Meteorologist Brianna Medina is here.
Yes, there might be some rain next week. I'll have your full forecast when we come back after the break. You're watching, and the news continues.
Need tips on how to stretch your dollar? How about advice on how to manage debt or answers to complex financial topics? Get these answers and more on Money Minute from Ouachita Valley Federal Credit Union. Mondays on NBC 10 News Today.
We can finally buy that solid gold rocket ship.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Do we have a rocket ship license?
We have 6 players going, which means our probability of being passed is 92%.
$500,000? We could buy a regular rocket ship!
No more rocket ships.
Feel the NFL action like never before. Download the DraftKings Daily Fantasy app and play free for millions in prizes.
Oh, this world's a little crazy. Oh, you are mine.
Beast of the Week shirts are provided by Aubrey's Graphic Designs. You dream it, we print it. Shirts, photos, videos, banners, weddings, flyers, and more. Call 335-2324 or 323-6110 and tell them the Beast sent you. At Parker Tire and Alignment, we know your days are way too busy to have to worry about your tires. That's why we hundreds of tires in stock, and our certified ASC mechanics will expertly install your tires to keep you on the go. But at Parker Tire and Alignment, we're not just tires. We can service your car from headlight to tailpipe and everything in between. Right now, when you buy any set of 4 select tires from us, you'll receive free oil for the life of your tires. Parker Tire and Alignment in West Monroe. Just look for the car.
ArkLamis weather is always changing. That's why NBC 10 News is always watching it.
We're here when you need us.
Giving you the most accurate forecast.
Anytime, on any screen.
So you know how to prepare.
NBC 10 News is your weather station.
Shop and experience historic downtown West Monroe.
Live Storm Tracker Doppler radar, sponsored by Homeland Bank. Now, Storm Tracker weather with meteorologist Brianna Medina.
So we still didn't see any rain today, and our temperatures are very similar as to our temperatures yesterday. Right now, Monroe is at 71 degrees, Ruston 65, Alexandria 65 as well. And we didn't see any rain whatsoever, just like yesterday. But what is different from today as opposed to yesterday are the dew points. The dew points are a little bit warmer today as opposed to yesterday. So Alexandria is seeing dew points at 64 degrees, and Monroe is seeing 62, so they're almost climbing up to that 65-degree mark. And so anything above 65 degrees, that indicates that it is very humid outside and it's not really comfortable. And so the reason why we are seeing our humidity a little bit more today as opposed to yesterday and the couple days before is because of this high pressure system that had already shifted its way further east, no longer in our region. So this high pressure system is basically a cool, dry air mass, and it rotates clockwise, and it's associated with cool, clear, sunny conditions. And so since it shifted further east, it is no longer in our region, and it is creating a clockwise rotation. So it's pulling in all of the Gulf moisture, making it a southeasterly flow. And so that Gulf moisture is going into the ArkLamis, and it's creating, it's causing us to be a little bit more humid. And we are also seeing a little bit more cloud cover because of this rotation pulling that Gulf moisture into our region. And we are also seeing a warm frontal system that's right in the center of the United States. And so this warm system is causing us to possibly get some rain chances starting next week. And as soon as it continues to lift this warm front, it is going to bring them some more isolated showers within the next couple days starting next week. And as it continues to shift further into the ArkLamis, that is when we're going to be seeing our rain chances increase. And because of all the Gulf moisture that is going to be coming in, that's also going to be helping our chances of rain. But as far as tonight, we are going to be seeing cool temperatures. Once again, our low is going to be 71 degrees, cool, dry, very calm winds. And tomorrow, our temperature is going to be warming up once again. Our high is going to be 86 degrees. And tomorrow is the last day that we're going to be seeing these really nice conditions, because starting Tuesday, that is when we are going to be seeing that chance of rain. And it's going to continue for the next couple of days and even into the weekend.
Well, Dominique, the Saints beat the Patriots.
I know that's right. They brought that W back home.
My boy Malcolm Jenkins put on a show.
They sure did.
We'll tell you all about that. Sports is next.
Download the N10 News app, sponsored by Vantage Health Plan.
At Jim Taylor Auto Group, we like to make the impossible possible. No matter your game, we've got the specialty. With us, it's all about the experience. Like the feeling you get when you cross the goal line to score the winning touchdown or birdie the last hole to win the tournament. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you're into. Just put your game face on and come experience what we're all about at Jim Taylor Chevrolet.
It's Chevy Truck Month, and it's time to add the perfect accessories to your new Chevy. Make it bolder. Make it work harder. Make it your own. Find new possibilities. Find new roads. Get a total value of $3,000 on this Silverado 1500 Crew Cab Texas Edition. Plus, now during Truck Month, get a $1,000 accessory allowance towards the purchase of eligible accessories. See your Super Chevy dealer today.
We're here in the city of Pine Bluff, Arkansas, and I am Mayor Shirley Washington. I'm here to encourage all of our citizens to be vaccinated. I was vaccinated as soon as I was qualified to receive that vaccination. And I'm encouraging all of our citizens to be vaccinated because we are ready for life to return to its normal state. It's more important than ever that we get everybody vaccinated.
Save lives. Get your vaccination. Learn more at healthy.arkansas.gov.
News sponsored by Mulhern Funeral Homes, when you need us most. Now, local sports with Stephen Pappas.
A lot of NFL action in Week 3 today. It was dominating defense what allowed the New Orleans Saints to grab a 28-13 victory over the Patriots in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Veteran defensive back Malcolm Jenkins had a 34-yard pick six in the third quarter off the Patriots rookie quarterback Matt Jones to give New Orleans a commanding 2-score lead, and backup quarterback Taysom Hill had put the game away with a 4-yard touchdown run, with the final score 28-13. The Saints had their day with team leaders being Jameis Winston going 13 for 21 passing completion, 128 yards, and throwing 2 touchdowns. Alvin Kamara finished with 27 touches for 118 yards while scoring a touchdown. New Orleans will be back home next week to face Daniel Jones and the New York Giants Sunday, October 3rd, kickoff at 12 p.m. Dallas Cowboys will face their NFC East Division opponents, the Philadelphia Eagles, for their Monday night showdown at AT&T Stadium. The Cowboys are in better shape now after coming off their first win this season over the LA Chargers last week, after their kicker Greg Zuerlein had some straightening with a 56-yard field goal kick that downed the Chargers in that box office performance. The Cowboys are looking to do it again with Dak Prescott's first game back home in primetime against the Birds. This is a divisional game, so it can go both ways, as the Eagles have won the last 2 of the 3 meetings with Dallas. Kickoff is set for tomorrow night at 7:15 p.m. One of the SEC's talked about game of the day, the number 16 Arkansas Razorbacks end their long run over number 7 Texas A&M Aggies in the Southwest Classics in Arlington, Texas. Arkansas coming into the game hot, 3-0. First quarter, KJ Jefferson goes deep to Treylon Burks, and boom, and he takes it to crib. He then for an 85-yard touchdown. Razorbacks lead here 10-0. All right, second quarter, same score. Jefferson finds A.J. Green, who breaks a few tackles on his way to a 48-yard touchdown. Arkansas goes on to win 20-10 to raise the Southwest Classic trophy. Over to Go Nation, LSU nearly escaped Starkville with a 28-25 win over Mississippi State. The Tigers came out swinging, especially on the defense, forcing 2 takeaways and only giving up a field goal in the first half. Tigers blew an 18-point lead here in the second half. Head coach Ed Gurion after the game said it's a win, but his team got to finish strong, especially in conference play.
We've been working on this air raid ever since last year. We made some improvement, obviously. I wish we could have finished a little bit harder in the third and fourth quarter. We ran out of gas.
I can't say our offense improved, and really our defense. Defense came out, played their heart out. Feel like offense, we played good. I mean, there's always room for improvement. We could have played better.
Next up for LSU, they will host Auburn in Tiger Stadium next Saturday night, kickoff at 8 p.m. Conference opener in the Sun Belt has the UNLM Warhawks hosted the Troy Trojans last night. These two didn't play last year due to COVID. UNLM looking for win number 2 on the season after winning last week's battle over Jackson State's 12-7. Playmakers made in this game. Zach Johnson provided the big play threat UNLM lacked through 2 games. Jackson caught a 37-yard touchdown from Rhett Rodriguez for the 7-0 lead in the first quarter. quarter. He made a 15-yard reception in the third quarter that allowed the Warhawks to answer a Troy touchdown with Troy's 32-yard field goal. UNLM will snap that 8-game Sun Belt Conference losing streak against Troy with the final score of 29-16. A crowd of 12,766 watched the Warhawks win back-to-back games for the first time since November 2018. More news following last night's game. Louisiana Monroe quarterback Rhett Rodriguez, who was hospitalized after sustaining a lung injury in Saturday night's game. This afternoon, his father, UNLM offensive coordinator coach Rich Rodriguez, tweeted, "Our family would like to thank everyone who has reached out with their thoughts and prayers for Rhett, as he is currently in the ICU at the hospital because of a lung injury from last night's game against Troy. We'll continue to keep you updated on his latest condition, and he hopes that he have a safe recovery." A last look at your forecast after the break. You're watching NBC 10 News.
So what came first, the grilled cheese or the burger?
So you know the burger had to come first. You go back hundreds of years. Oh, cheese has been around hundreds of years, too.
Exactly. Okay.
Sonic grilled cheeseburger.
So.
Wow, this is a good debate.
Hey, everybody, let's have some fun. The time is right, the party's just begun. Have a good time, sprawl.
On game day, Tiger fans know how to bring it. And with best available horsepower in its class and payload, plus with the power of a mobile generator, you can take it all with you. Ford Trucks. Let the good times roll. Get 0% financing for 72 months, plus 1,000 retail custom order bonus cash on F-150 at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
Sleepy Hollow Furniture, celebrating 40 years of livable luxury.
It's Bayou Stock, October 23rd at the Sterlington Sports Complex. Featuring Dylan Scott, David Lee Murphy, Stephen Paul, and Ricky Routon. And gates open at 4. Bayou Stock, October 23rd at the Sterlington Sports Complex. For more info or to purchase tickets, visit BayouStock.com.
For bonding, safety services, and more, call Charles Sr. at the Hogan Agency.
Get the 6-minute advantage with a Storm Tracker Doppler radar on NBC 10, your weather station, sponsored by Homeland Bank. Where's your money?
Your only privately owned wound ostomy clinic in Louisiana. Karen Stansbury brings 23 years of experience for wound and ostomy issues. Call today.
Two moms on a yacht. We're really in the backyard in a blow-up pool. Like, isn't this the life?
It is. You can pretend.
I pretend all day. Sonic uncorked slushes.
I could totally see myself drinking this on a boat.
Oh, yeah.
Meteorologist Lexi Birmingham. Mornings on NBC 10 News Today.
Well, that's it for us on our news. Starts tomorrow at 5 a.m. You can stay up to date at myarclemis.com. Good night.